the scenario.
It's a little puck.
Puck? Like from Shakespeare?
Yeah, from Much Ado About Nothing.
What a weird reference.
I thought it was Midsummer Night's Dream.
Oh, it might be Midsummer Night's Dream. Who fucking
Idiot.
cares? Stupid! I gotta...
Keep that in, Kirsten. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Here's a Scenario, a Shakespearean podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Mike Cannon. With me, as always,
Mike Feeney, and also...
Brendan Sagalow. To fart or not to fart? That is the...
that is the question.
I can't believe I didn't say that.
Fucking idiot.
Oh, 2 times already. I'm a fucking moron.
Not only that, but we're cursing 3 seconds in. The algorithm has already dumped us. We're out of YouTube. It's unbelievable, dude. I'm getting absolutely throttled on every single platform lately because I can't keep my goddamn curse words to a minimum. But either way, this isn't about that. This podcast is a hypothetical-based podcast. We do what-ifs, scenarios, would-you-rathers. You guys name it. You hit us up, DM us with some questions, message us, email us, go to here'sascenario.com. That basically gives you every avenue to contact us and hit us up with any scenario, hypothetical, or whatever you guys want us to answer. It's a completely built by you guys podcast. We're brand new on the laugh button, and we're having a good time doing some goofy stuff.
We're excited you're listening.
We'll do anything you say. So if you want to ask us a question, if you want me to undress and get on my hands and knees so you can put your feet on me and I'll oink while you do it, I'll do that too. Anything for money.
Brendan did that for free with me.
Well, you're my friend.
Right. Yeah, that was just a bonding experience that had very little to do with compensation.
I am getting that check, though, right?
Yeah. No, check mark. Right next to your name as in good friend. No, it'll be red. It'll be red as in certainly nobody.
Yeah. We should make our own check marks, dude. Fuck all that
There's so
shit.
many people that do that when I scroll on either followers or likes or something, you scroll fast, but then you see little blue, icons and emojis which you think are blue check marks, and you're like, and then all of a sudden it's just somebody inputting them next to their username, and you're like, God damn it, you little sneakeroo.
Damn. I should do that.
Yeah, you should. But first, let's get to a scenario.
Yeah, here's a nice scenario. If you had to have a tail or a third arm, which would you pick? Tail or a third arm? And I guess what really the question is, what kind of tail?
Yeah.
Is it a little tiny turtle tail? Because fuck that shit. Pants won't fit right. You know what I mean?
I think it can be whatever tail you prefer. And also, no matter what you get, your clothes aren't fitting right.
Yeah, but if you have a monkey's tail or some sort of cheetah tail, you cut it in the back, right?
Yeah, you're going to be like the kid from Jumanji and have Robin Williams rip your back seam so your monkey tail can pop out comfortably.
Or like Dragon Ball Z, there was a person that had a tail. I don't know what Dragon Ball Z, I don't know
title.
what they are.
Not a white.
Well, that's the thing. So pick a tail, any tail. What kind of tail would you have? Because obviously the third arm would have to be a duplicate of your arms, because you can't just grow a Ninja Turtle arm with 3 fingers and just D-ball muscles out of nowhere.
Yes,
that would
I think it has to be
goofy.
a carbon copy of your arm.
Mm-hmm. It's the same.
So would your tail have to be a carbon copy of your dick?
No,
because I don't.
Nobody's dick and tail are proportional.
No.
It's a crazy comparison. Even
monkeys also have dicks. Things with tails. Also
I don't even know
have
how
penises.
you came up with that.
I don't know, because why not? It would be fun. Just the same thing popping out of both ends, It's like when you do that thing with your fingers and both middle fingers are top and bottom wiggling.
Yeah, coming would be hilarious.
I'm going with third arm for sure. Because third arm.
And where would it be?
I get to choose. I'm gonna choose. I'm gonna choose third arm. I'm gonna choose it like Goro style, coming out of my ribs, and just can rest underneath. That way, it still can be down at my side, but when I need some real torque, I can get this fucking.
That would fuck your ribs up, though, dude. It would squeeze this side of your ribs.
Yeah, but imagine how fucking tight my obliques would be.
They'd be great. Well, your right would be pretty sick, but your left would be a gelatin mold. But
it's still gonna work out.
No, well, not your left obliques, but the thing the only way I'd get, I've just decided for you. The thing that I would get for a third arm, the only way I would do that is if I could get like an accordion arm in the middle. So if I had like an accordion arm that just kind of recessed into my body, and then I could hold my third hand flat on my chest so nobody would be the wiser, and then in any type of physical altercation, it just goes right to their fucking throat out of nowhere.
Of course,
Boom,
yeah, that would be
the
super
best.
cool.
But it would be hilarious
I-
if you're wearing a hoodie and can't get through the fabric. It's just sitting here, and you're like,
you're
"What's
like-
going on with your
you
chest?
start
Is there a
doing-
squirrel in your shirt?"
You start doing that thing, when you put your hand in your shirt, and you start going like this. It's like,
Yeah, now my panic attacks are just visible. It just looks like a struggle.
It just looks like you're
underneath.
stuck in a fucking in a psych ward.
I like the liberties you took with what your arm would do. Where would
Yeah,
your
we said
arm
carbon
be.
copy, and you're like, I want a collapsible accordion arm that comes
This is
out.
a comedy podcast. Sometimes creativity comes into play, you know?
What would Patrice say, man? The truth.
Yeah, Patrice would be like, I want a motherfucking accordion arm. Whitey.
Yeah, I guess I would go with arm because that seems like the most usable. I think a tail would just get in the way, and you can't really grab anything with a tail.
A tail
Monkeys,
couldn't be more useless
yeah,
at this point in the
I
game.
disagree on every single level. I'm a huge tail guy, and I'll tell you what I would do with each size. Because first of all, I think the tail would help our relationships tenfold, because the tail is an involuntary force, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if you're excited and happy to see your girl, no matter what is going on in your day or anything like that you're kind of thinking of, if you see her and your tail starts wagging and it gets your lower half of your body moving, your wife is immediately satisfied with your emotional output.
And
So
let
that
me tell you where you just fucked yourself
where you just
sideways,
fucked up
pal, because the one time it doesn't wag,
right.
I was gonna say that.
I'll just say
Yeah.
I just jerked off and it's not ready to wag yet.
Oh, that's not an excuse.
No, you
I don't
just go. Yeah, no, it's wagging. It's
Yeah,
wagging.
yeah. They're like
shaking your
no.
ass.
I'm just starting to jerk off my tail just to try to get it to wag.
I'm gonna go with arm. Seems like the easiest thing to do. And so are you going tail?
Yeah, I'm going tail. I would also either pick an alligator tail or a kangaroo tail so I could fucking stand up, not on my legs, and just fucking tower over people, have a
Yeah.
good vantage point, get weird on stage. Act outs would be more fun. What am I gonna? What one hand is going to be holding the mic and the other one a water bottle and the third the mic stand?
Oh,
I
that'd
just
be
feel like
so
that's
nice
such a
to be
nightmare.
able to
Yeah,
have
that
a
would be
water bottle
awesome.
ready to go.
Nah.
The tail, it's constantly you'd ever try wearing a backpack on a subway? Try having a tail,
Dude.
just
Yeah.
constantly hitting people
Try
stepping on it.
standing on the stage at Uncle Vinny's with a tail.
Yeah.
You're making my point for me, is I want to turn and clear the front row. I want to be able to act like it's an accident, but hurl them like Dr. Octopus across the entire fucking room.
I want a nice rattlesnake tail. I want something that if someone comes near me, because I have a problem telling people my emotions when they're mad or sad. So I want a tail to be able to go so they're like, oh, what's wrong, Brendan?
See?
I'm like, nothing's wrong. No, you're mad. You're mad.
It would be more like you're sad. You're sad.
sad, yeah.
Be like this.
Shick.
Yeah.
Shick.
Brendan threatened suicide no less than 36 times last night on Twitch.
Oh, that's
Did
cool.
I? I was
Yeah.
thinking. I was just saying
What were you
something-
reading your Twitter?
Well, that's what we were talking about, was how it was problematic. And then Ian was like, hey, buddy, are you really okay? Are you okay, dude? He was like, Ian was
Oh.
legitimately
He didn't
not,
call me though.
but he wasn't joining in on the fun because he was legit. Ian was worried. That's how you know.
Oh,
You're like,
it's fine. Everything's fine. I did tweet the other day though that
you
I think
you
I
threatened
think
to
I
kill
would.
yourself if people didn't join your Twitch.
No, that's a good sales technique, though.
Yeah, yeah.
I get that. I totally
That's
get
how.
that.
Haven't you ever seen The Founder?
Yeah, yeah, dude. You're
That's
creating.
Michael Keaton.
I missed
you're
that
creating.
scene.
You're creating urgency in your consumer. I understand.
It
You're like,
worked,
listen,
though.
this deal will not last forever.
worked.
especially
It
if you
did
don't
work.
take
I had
advantage.
two people in my chat, and then
Because
and then
they were
I
all
threatened to kill myself, and then 10 more came.
Yeah, because they were all in mine and Ian and Shuli's stream, which was hearing you going, why is no one in here? I'm going to threaten to kill myself. And then they left our stream to go into yours to make you feel better. It wasn't because of Twitter.
So you're saying it worked, though.
I'm saying the tweet didn't work. The
Something
pity-
worked.
But the
Yeah.
threats did.
Yes, the victimhood did work.
Brendan.
Yeah. Being a
Brendan.
victim really works.
Are we gonna convoy a tail, Feeney? Would you like to change your mind?
I'm not changing it.
The I'm gonna kill
I'm going
myself
arm, though.
rattlesnake tail.
I would like that, but I'm going to go arm. I think in the grand
All right.
scheme, I'd rather have an extra arm. Because also, sex would be fucking awesome with an extra arm.
Dude,
you know?
also sex would be awesome with a tail. You could go in and tickle her ass while you're in the vag.
No girl is going to fucking want a tail.
Yeah, your
in their
tail's all
pussy.
hairy and matted.
No,
Yeah.
necessarily.
And full
It
of,
could be.
like,
It could be like a
ground.
bald little rat tail, and it just kind of like
Ew.
needles right in. Ticka ticka.
Ew. Ew.
All right.
I can't believe we're not shared more on the algorithm.
Everything we do fails. Okay, next thing. If you could send 10 words to any deceased world leader, who would you send them to, and what would you say? You could warn JFK, that would affect, or you could affect a major war. So I don't know what this means.
If you could do what?
If you could send 10 words to any deceased world leader, who would you send them to, and what would you say?
I'd send it to Hitler and say, "Second place is the first loser, bitch. Bitch-ass bitch."
Nice. That's
Yeah.
actually what made him kill himself.
He was like, "I am in second."
Yeah.
Zwei. That's two in German.
World leader.
Zwei. I would probably, I don't know, world leader.
Yeah. How about just dead person that you know of, Brendan?
I have no idea. A deceased world leader, huh? I don't know. I don't care enough. I really don't care. There's nothing I would want to say to anybody. Jesus. Would you count Jesus as a world leader?
Sure.
All right, I'll send a message to Jesus.
What would you say? Watch out. If you see somebody dragging a heavy, unshapen piece of wood, just know that it's for you.
Yeah, maybe simmer down with the I'm God's son stuff.
It
know?
really, like, considering how many people have called themselves Christ and said that they are the next Messiah, and they're just instantly thrown into a mental institution, it's like you could probably tell why Jesus wasn't that popular. It's like if you had some long-haired, beauty queen walking around saying, "Hey, man, it's all love and preaching happiness and togetherness and no judgment, and everybody's got to be a part of my thing, and it's my thing. I just want everybody to know that it's my
love how this
thing,
is evolving.
and I'm the Son of God. Me, personally, Jesus H.
Yeah.
Christ." I'd probably fucking tack him up on a board as well.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure there was like, I used to try to do a joke about how all friends talk shit about their other friends, and there had to be like two people of the 13 apostles that turned to each other and was like, "Oh, there's Jesus again. He's a fucking asshole." He's so annoying, isn't he?
I hope
You
he's
know what
not
I-
extra Jesus-y today.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that's not bad. You know what I would do? I would go back to 1942, or maybe it was 43 or 4. I'm not sure when. When was Pearl Harbor? 42? Because that's when we
Pearl
got.
Harbor.
Oh, great. Now the algorithm's definitely going to be fucked.
Siri just said don't.
Yeah.
Please
Siri
don't.
went, please.
Well, because I would assume it's 42, because that's when we got involved in the war. So I don't think we didn't
thought we
do
did it in
anything
3.
until we were forced to. But I would go back to
1941.
41. Okay, and then we just waited a while.
No, it's December 7th, a day that will
oh.
live in infamy.
That's true.
Infamy.
So I would say that I would go back to that day, the day before, December 6th, 1941, and tell the Japanese, "Hey guys, I understand you're pissed and you're trying to do a power move right now, but it's gonna backfire big time, and it's gonna be real
time.
bad, and you're gonna believe me when I say, just take the L on this one, because otherwise it's gonna really cause quite
Yeah.
an incredible amount of lost life, and then you're gonna lose."
And then you're gonna lose as well.
which I then is going to piss them off. Or maybe go to Russia in the 80s and try and stop Chernobyl.
Let me tell you what you're doing though when you're doing this stuff with the Pearl
Let
Harbor
them know.
thing.
Let them know.
Let me tell you what you're
Yeah.
doing. Okay, you're going up to the Japanese and you're going, guys, this ain't your fight. It's gonna be a lot worse. It's making them go, what do they have? What does
Right.
America have?
Nuclear bombs.
Yes, and then they go, they got nukes. They got nukes. Step back a little bit. And then they go into their fucking, I almost said huts. That would have been real bad. They go into their fucking houses.
Still said it. Very bad.
Yeah.
I found a way to say it wokely.
No.
What'd you say? I was
saying
gonna
it was
say
the
huts.
move. Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, but it's rude to say this racist thing. Yeah, and then they're going to go back. They're going to
They
work
walk
on a
into their
harder-
seaweed shanties and they have they take their shoes off and they have a prayer and a soup.
They
Yeah,
got their sticky rice. And,
they hop in that
If
two-wheeler
you
thing
think
and they
that-
have their friend pull them up a hill.
if you think that Japan hasn't been doing that since December 7th, 1941, you're crazy.
They just can't figure it out yet.
No, I bet they have some nuclear
I'm
warheads.
sure, I'm sure.
But it's like, again, if they knew that we were just going to fucking carpet bomb the shit out of them
Oh, yeah.
and then napalm them, it's crazy.
Yeah, but then
Damn.
they'd never have the inspiration for Pokemon.
That would be horrible.
Why? What was that had to do with Pearl Harbor?
Since everybody was like electric and nuclear, that's how they got Pikachu.
Is that really?
Yeah.
No.
Yes, it is. That's what, dude. The. Are you kidding? You never heard of this? One of
Don't
the
say,
guys.
Are you kidding? To something that's for sure
No, this,
an outlier
Look.
theory.
no, this is not. It's not even a theory. This happened like 2 or 3 years ago. So some guy, some businessman, was in.
I still can't get past the "Are you kidding?"
Are you guys kidding? Feeney, get your hands off the keyboard. This makes the
I'm
show less
typing.
fun.
I'm looking it up.
I know
I'm
you're
looking
looking
it
it
up.
up. It makes the show less fun if you're fact checking in the moment. Why would you do that?
So we need a producer. We're supposed to have one. It was
I was
guaranteed
just
one.
I was just gonna go off on a flight of fancy, telling a real fun story that melded
You still
two
can.
half truths.
Here's the best
still
part.
can. I'm
I
not
didn't
looking
even
it
look
up.
it up. I went like this, and it bluffed you into admitting you were going to lie.
But I wasn't entirely lying. I was gonna
Oh,
tell a
here it
really,
comes.
I was
Go.
gonna tell a really good story about. Well, it's not even good, but it's
But it is long.
it is long, and I promised to tell the whole thing. So
Which I'm making up on the spot. And
that's right. This Japanese businessman, he in 1942. Which I believe is when we dropped the nukes. Which one got hit first? Was it Nagasaki or Hiroshima?
Hiroshima.
I believe Hiroshima was first. But either way, he was in that city doing business, right? The day that the nuclear bomb was dropped. He was in the blast radius, the whole thing. They're like trying to get people out. He survives somehow, and they're taking all of these people to a base on Nagasaki from Hiroshima. He gets
God.
to Nagasaki.
Such bad luck.
The day the fucking second bomb hits, boom, he survived that.
He goes,
And
next
then-
stop, my mother-in-law's house.
yeah.
That
Taxi.
that guy ended up dying in like 2012.
Wow. I actually think I've heard of this story.
Yeah, because I used to tell it on stage. But he also, I was going to make up that he invented Pikachu based on his exploits.
I would actually have believed you that Pokemon has some sort of ties to Pearl Harbor.
I would not have. Because it came like 45 years afterwards.
Yeah,
All right.
well, it took time to marinate.
Okay,
Yeah,
we're staying away from the show here. Okay, if you could send 10 words as a sentence to your 10-year-old self, what would you say? 10 words.
What's all these 10-word questions?
I don't
What do you
know. I don't
want-
like
what
this.
Do you,
Let's move
what do you
on.
want, 10words.com?
No, it's just right after each other. I bet they're from the same person. Okay, let's just move on. I don't want to do that one. If you had to come up with your own 3 rules of robotics, can't be the same as Isaac Asimov's.
Oh,
Of course. What would they be? And
Well-
for example, this is Isaac's rules. A
Okay.
robot may not injure a human being or through inaction allow a human being to come to harm. A robot must obey the orders given to it by human beings, except where such orders would conflict with the first law. And a robot must protect its own existence as long as such protection does not conflict with the first or second laws. Okay. That
He
kinda
took
makes
all
sense.
the laws.
He took everything. All right.
Feeney's talking and the mic's not working, I don't think.
Are you? Ah, it's gone. It's
Can't
gone.
hear you. That's probably the end of the show, too.
Forever?
Forever. I'm ready to walk away.
Are you kidding?
You'll never know. And we're back.
And we're back.
Excellent.
Sorry.
So what
Speaking
10
of
questions
robots.
are we at? Or 10 words are we saying to
No,
somebody?
okay. If you could come up with your own 3 rules of robotics and they can't be the
Oh,
same
right.
as the previous laws, what would they be? What are the 3 rules? They have to obey me. I don't care if they
That's
obey.
the first rule.
No, the first rule is a robot may not injure a human being or through an action allow a human being to come to harm.
Yeah, I mean, can we remix that rule and just be like, I'm fine with you harming human beings at my behest?
Yes.
So the only person that you're unable to harm is me. Everybody else is free game as long as I tell you to.
Okay.
You
I like
know?
that rule. How about this for a rule? The minute you think you're better than me, you kill yourself. The minute you think that you
The
can kill me.
robot is walking with you one day, Brendan, and it just turns to you, puts its hand on your shoulder, looks you dead in the eye, and goes, "I'm sorry." And
Yeah,
just
yeah,
shoots
yeah.
himself in the head.
It sees
I
me
see
eat-
it- I
it
see
sees
it-
me eating a taco over the trash can, and it goes,
Yeah.
cow.
I see it more like you unboxing going, wow, a robot. And then he goes, deep, goo.
Yeah, it
Like
looks
that,
at my
yeah.
room. It looks at where I live.
Yeah.
I just mean the minute it thinks it can take me. You know what I mean? The minute
Again.
that, like...
That's the minute it's born.
It's a robot. Also, if it has all the okay, Brendan, tell us how you're smarter than an AI programmed robot.
And anyway,
Because when you first open the fucking box, the AI isn't even... They don't know what the fuck... They're starting
it
from
learns
scratch.
Right.
instantaneous. Within
It
2
would
minutes,
learn-
it will know more than you'll ever know.
How long? Yeah,
That's
how long
fine.
do you think it would? Even if you were
fine.
the one teaching it, it would eventually become just a better Brendan.
What I'm just saying... What I'm saying... We
It
can all
would
use
know
one of
more
those.
Green Day, more NoFX,
No
more
way!
Eminem. It would know all those things more efficiently than you could ever dream of knowing.
It's like
And
a
then
better...
you'd
You,
kill- then you'd
yeah,
kill
I'd
yourself.
kill myself. You guys like talk about it. You're like, I think I like robot Brendan better than real Brendan. He sent me cupcakes today.
The robot's like, I'm from Long Island. It sucks. No, it doesn't. Ha,
It's
ha,
okay. It's okay. Trash. I should work harder.
Sound effect, noise, filler noise.
Face. Robot Brendan is fucking cool, man. I'm just saying, if it ever thought like, oh, robots are better than humans and we should take over,
Right.
it kills it.
What about this? I would make it be a like a sick, like transformer thing,
Okay.
to where it would not become a car, but it would be a force field around my car. So that way, when I'm driving, if I get into a crash, I'm unharmed.
Does your radio only play? That'd
That'd
be
be cool. I think you just invented something else, but I'll allow it.
It's a robot.
Yeah, that's a robot force field.
Okay. Does it have eyes or anything?
Yeah,
No.
the eyes
Is
are
it-
the headlights.
Is it in any
Idiot.
way like sentient in any way?
No, I don't want it to be sentient. That's when they kill you.
Yeah.
Brendan just wants. This is so clear that Brendan just wants a friend. So
Yes.
he wants a robot that's slightly dumber than him
a
with no
dumber
ambition
friend.
that loves him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you tried talking to one of your roommates? That sounds like most of them.
Actually, yeah, I would want my roommate to have ambition because I want my friends to have ambition. You know, I wanted him to be like, oh, I want to be a surfer. Like, oh, dude, cool.
Yeah,
I'm
you would
taking
want it to have
lessons.
ambition in a field that has nothing to do with what you're trying to accomplish.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm completely jealous if anybody in my life starts comedy at all. My sister got a job at SNL, and I cried about it. I didn't really cry about it, you know.
Brendan,
I
I am
bugged out
a
about it.
robot. I can be programmed to shoot, edit, subtitle, and post your videos simultaneously. Would
That
you
would
have
be
me do
awesome.
that? No, robot. That's a bit too ambitious for me. If you'd rather just work in an ice cream parlor, I'd
Yeah.
much prefer that. Thank you.
I get mad at the robot like it's like an eager new comic. I'm like, slow down.
Yeah.
Make it easy.
Walk before
Sorry.
you can run,
Yeah,
robot.
yeah. They'd be like, I'd be on Instagram and they'd be like, Robot Brendan got booked on whatever, like a show. I don't know.
All of them?
Robot Brendan got the Tonight Show. What the fuck?
He recorded it at New York Comedy Club?
Oh my god! And there's a picture of everyone hugging him.
Yeah, Emilio is quoted as saying he's the son he never had.
Yeah. They're all super stoked to share his album.
Yeah.
Free episode.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. If the Earth was going to be destroyed in 5 years, but you were given the offer today of being frozen, put on a spaceship, and sent out to space in the hope of another species finds your ship, would you rather live for 5 more years on Earth or give up those 5 years and go into a spaceship?
Well, the fact that you didn't, I thought it was going to be like frozen until you reach, the new colony. But if it's like just slingshot you out into the universe and hope someone finds you,
You're just banging around the planets every
just-
once in a while.
yeah,
I
not
know,
hitting meteor showers or getting killed or anything like that. I think I'm going just take the 5 years here and
Die with everybody else.
Yeah, why not? I mean, who wants to spend eternity in a Bob's Big Boy floating?
I'll tell you
in
what,
outer
though.
space?
I'll tell you what, though. That that last day of Earth, I bet we would each go like, should have taken the space station. Should have taken the space.
5 years comes fast.
5 years is
I
real fast.
5 years is a lifetime. I'm fine with 5 years.
No, you make the best out of it, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it's better than being like, all right, goodbye everybody now, and you're also gonna be dead anyway. So I'm just gonna kiss you on the cheeks and then get like frozen in suspended animation and hurtle in an infinite abyss forever until what?
I don't know.
The space junk pierces my pod and kills me.
See, I think it comes down to a fundamental thing of like not being capable of taking, because you're essentially taking your own life if you opt for frozen versus being like, they're gonna have to this planet's gonna have to explode in order to get me off this rock, baby.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so it's just a matter of comfort with killing yourself, or which is basically what that is, right?
So Brendan said space, right?
I don't know. It seems fun to be in space, and like I know that it would like the chances of finding a species, especially like it's so stacked against you. Even if there was a species that could find that ship and unfreeze you, they would have to do it in the span of a human's lifetime, because you can't wait 1,000 years frozen. You're gonna be dead anyway.
Someone's never seen Futurama.
Yeah. What?
But I would say
I've
that.
seen Futurama.
You sure?
Have you seen Forever Young with
I can't-
Mel
I
Gibson?
No.
Yeah.
He gets frozen. in
Have you
that,
seen
and then he comes
most
back
any
and then
any?
ages.
Encino
Have you
Man?
seen Austin Powers?
I've seen Austin Powers.
Okay.
I'm just saying. I mean,
See, I would if this was rephrased as I get my own spaceship with unlimited resources and I could, bring my family and we could kind of cruise around the galaxy and figure out if there's another hospitable planet, then I may choose that. But if I'm fucking just, I'm more or less freeze-dried peas.
all right.
Imagine if you have a 747 with as many resources as you can that can also go around space. So it's like that size.
Yeah.
And you can you find another planet when you're 78 because there's nothing even close to, that we could even see in a telescope. But let's say you find some warp speed wormhole where you fly to another thing and you land there and you're like, whoa, this planet is habitable for human life. Then you have to just create an entire world? What are you doing? You have bad knees. You can't go building infrastructure.
I have a bad knee.
You have bad everything.
I have a singular bad knee. Tired of this narrative.
What if in the spaceship that you're on, they don't freeze you and you don't have unlimited resources, you have about 5 years worth of resources.
You're toast.
Yeah, but now you're like, there's a chance in these 5 years, if I'm traveling through space, there's a chance. I mean, there's a very small chance because galaxies are so fucking far from each other.
It's so unknown, and you have to be like white knuckling, driving, like avoiding like space trash forever versus being like, I'm just gonna go to Hawaii.
How much space
Like,
trash do you think
chill
there
out.
is?
There's a lot of space trash, dude.
It's mostly space trash. Yeah.
Really? Do we?
Have you ever seen what it looks like around the atmosphere? We have like a Saturn ring of trash, of dead
Cool.
satellites
Is
and
it?
fucking.
Is it cool or is it moderately depressing?
It's a little depressing. It's like I feel like we live on the world, like that alien world in Space Jam.
Yeah. Shit, what
Monster
planet
World
is it
or
called?
something? Monster
Well,
Planet?
they're the Monstars.
Yeah.
The Moron Mountain.
Moron Mountain. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mountain,
like
the
White
planet.
House. All right.
Uh-oh.
Okay. Could someone like Sherlock Holmes actually exist? And in parentheses, I mean the way he is portrayed in the newest TV movies. So this person is not saying could a private eye exist. just could someone with the intelligence as Sherlock Holmes exist?
Yeah, I mean, but isn't Reddit almost Sherlock Holmes at this point? Like, they're the new private eyes. They're the ones kind of piecing together all these crazy, complex things. I mean, obviously, there's so much misinformation coming from some of it, but then actual crimes get solved.
He does it like in the room, though. He's like, I see that you have a quarter from 1975. Those weren't released until blah, 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 blah. He's like an eagle eye with everything.
You watch Holmes?
No, but I know about Sherlock Holmes. That's the
Right,
kind of guy he was.
But he said the modern one.
Yeah, but that's like Robert Downey Jr.'s character and shit in those movies, which weren't bad. The movies were pretty good.
I've actually only heard the opposite.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm not a Guy Ritchie guy. I like Snatch, and that's it.
I still have to see Snatch. I've never seen Snatch.
Oh, it's a hoity-toity flighty. Oh, it's the best.
Yeah,
Makes you
yeah,
want to
yeah.
fist fight everybody in a grassy meadow.
Feed them to the pigs. That's the only part that I've seen. All right. Well, that fucking question.
I don't
sucked
know.
ass.
Yeah, I don't even fully understand it. Could Sherlock Holmes exist?
They're
Is that the
basically
question?
asking if somebody with like detailed Asperger's could hold it together enough to solve crimes. Like,
Sure. Absolutely.
that's pretty much the question.
That's probably most
Someone with
detectives.
detailed Asperger's survive enough. That's so funny. I guess so. Yeah. Here's another stupid question. If werewolves and vampires were real, do you think the human race would exist? Now,
Oh, that's a good question.
that is a
Vampires
good
and what?
question. Werewolves.
Are vampires?
No.
Are vampires not human? I guess not.
No,
right?
they're
'Cause
dead.
They're not alive.
They're
But-
dead.
They're
things.
human. No, werewolves are human until a full moon. Then they turn into
Oh
werewolves.
yeah, I thought you said vampires.
I did say vampires, but
Oh,
but,
vampires
like,
are undead.
right. But they're still human. Like they're made out of people.
They're like
Yeah, but they don't-
shapeshifters. They can
Yeah,
like,
they don't age. They can be
Right.
like 400 years old.
Yeah.
No, I know that. So I know all the vampire rules, but they're still like they look like us. You know,
Sometimes.
they're. What do you mean sometimes?
Sometimes vampires have these like
They turn into
long
bats.
teeth, and they're like, and they're like pointy fucking like Buffy the Vampire foreheads, or like
Yeah.
giant fucking like long big
Like
claw
Transylvania
things.
face.
Yeah, Transylvania face.
Dude,
yeah.
I had a substitute teacher in middle school that would pretend he was from Transylvania. Like you couldn't. He like had this character, and that was how he was fun, and like everybody knew him because he was a regular. But me and my friends, like beat him up so bad, like just verbally abused him for an entire class that finally he was like, "Hey fellas, fucking cut it out." Like
Wow.
he just like broke the Transylvanian accent. Like he talked like this the whole time.
Really?
And he mostly put on a movie, but he was like a fun guy. Like I think his name was Mr. G even or something like that. And he would just, he'd be like, "Hello everybody," and everybody like, "Hey, what's up, Dickless?" And and then he'd like pop in a tape and just sit there. But we just absolutely berated this guy into just being like, "Jesus, I mean, fellas, I'm just trying to collect a paycheck." Like,
he's from Newark.
He was a Bronx teacher for like 40 years. We found out after the class because he asked us to stay, and he was a teacher in the Bronx, and he found that the Transylvanian accent kind of like put the kids on their heels a little bit and entertained them enough to listen to him. So he thought it would be the same in suburbia, and we were like one of the only classes to ever truly destroy his spirit.
Dude, I love how every story about you and your friends with the teachers is like, yeah, we like cut this fucking substitute teacher's head off, and like it's like every single one we tormented this person.
I mean, it was fun to do. Teachers are they're in an unfortunate position because they have to deal with kids as they're growing up and try to figure out who they are, and sometimes trying to figure out who you are is exercising the mean part of you.
Yeah. I think to answer the question, humans could exist in a world with vampires and werewolves, but this would be so different. This wouldn't be.
Oh, yeah.
We wouldn't have like a society where we walked and talked and high-fived.
Every full moon, you're just in lockdown.
You're just inside.
It'd be like the Purge.
Yeah. It'd be everybody would have an I Am Legend type security setup where you'd have to have just like steel shutters. Everything would close down. You know
what though?
There'd be like a 4-hour window of the day.
I think the government would do a thing to where they would put up like, infrastruct these giant like LED lights that pretty much make it light 24 hours a day. That way, vampires would never be able to come out. So we'd kind of like the reverse Mr. Burns blocking out the sun, but like all sun. So they would do that. But the werewolf thing, it's like, there would also be a full moon, so we'd have to block out the moon. That's going to be tough.
Yeah, none of us would have fucking like we'd all be pale. It would be awful. We wouldn't survive.
Yeah, I'd hate to be
that.
pale.
Like, you know what
look at the
I mean, like
the pastiest
sickly
people
pale.
on a podcast.
Yeah. We have
Sickly.
white, pink, and gray. Pick your poison.
I just said the most peas I've ever said in my life. 3 of the pastiest people you've seen on a podcast. Pick your poison.
That is fucking hilarious. We are white, pink, and gray.
Yeah, we're all different hues of newborn rat.
That's great. All right. You have 30 options planned to be launched in store at the beginning of January of... Nah, this question stinks. It's so long. Hold on. Here's another one. If you could be a...
Hold on. Nope. Let's go back to that one because I want to see what you had a tough time reading.
All right.
That's what happened.
I'll read it. I'll just read it the way it is.
And I do think, and I have said this before, I do think that for these, you should proofread them ahead of time.
What's the fun in that?
Well, it just keeps the show moving. And
it is fun to berate Brendan.
We're moving right now. Not everything's got to be fucking
funny.
Robot, Well, this is more funny than being like, okay, what's the next question? And then
Is it?
It is. It is. Okay. You have 30 options planned to be launched in store at the beginning of January, of which only 20 will arrive in time due to supplier delays. The balance will then arrive in 1 to 4 weeks after launch. What impact will this have, and what could you have done to avoid the delays?
This is a question on a job application at
What?
FedEx. This
What?
is
What
idiotic.
is this? What is this?
Yo, Brendan 100% put that question in to see how we'd answer it so he could take it to his next job interview.
Yeah.
Like, well, UPS, I think I would be a fine employee because, if I had 30 deliveries coming, but only 20 would arrive.
Dude, it's not even UPS. It's a weed delivery service.
Yeah, the next question is, where do you see yourself in 5 years? I'm like, where do you guys see yourself in 5 years? Okay. If you could be a dragon, what would you do as one? What would you do as a dragon?
Protect my treasure.
Yeah, you'd be like a Lord of the Rings dragon.
You'd have
Where-
to get a treasure. Where would you get the treasure?
It would just
Oh,
be
I got a
Jeet.
treasure.
Oh,
No,
it's
but
his
that's
family.
that's part of the being a dragon. So say, boom, right now in your apartment, you turn into a dragon. The apartment blows out. The walls are out. You have to fucking figure out life as a dragon now. Erica's fine with it. She'll go live her life. You're now solo. How do you get a treasure? What do you do?
I go either to Jeff Bezos' estate and just take him, and then live there, or I find some like Flame of the Week rapper that's terrible and has 2 hit songs, so he spent $46 million on a compound with everything in it. Kill him, and then just it's the asset. It's actually the treasure is appreciation of the land.
See,
the
but
realty.
That's where you're correct. Going after the rappers like Tekashi or somebody like that who holds stacks on them at
Yeah.
all times, they're the only people to fly to, because Bezos and like Elon Musk, it's like you're going to be the first dragon protecting crypto. You know, you can't like be in a castle being like, I got fucking 900 Doja coins. And
That's so funny.
It's like, what the fuck?
They're called Drago coins now.
Yeah. If only I could remember my password.
Yeah.
I burned.
I tried
my notepad.
typing in rar rar, but the keyboard is singed.
Yeah. Scale cool guy 32.
Scale cool guy.
Scaly cool man 32 at Hotmail. He gets picked on. Okay. Does the fact that we don't know of anyone from the future time traveling back to our time or to the past prove that time travel will never be possible? Now, that's a good question. Does the fact that we've never found anyone or any evidence of time travel prove that time travel will never
No,
exist?
in fact, you could argue the exact opposite. You could say that because time travel might exist in the future, that they've already gone back to the past to fix mistakes of all of the mistakes, and that this outcome that we're living is currently the best possible outcome of all outcomes.
Right. Well, because true time travel can erase the evidence of time travel.
Yes, exactly. So say there was a time traveler that came back and just appeared on the subway and everybody's like, what the fuck? Then you could just travel back in time and stop yourself from doing that.
Yeah, exactly. It's an endless loop of who knows a fuck.
It really
know?
does protect, it just corrects every mistake that shouldn't be made.
Do you have French tips on your nails?
What? No.
Oh, I thought you had long nails for a second. There was a weird
This
shadow
guy?
there. Oh, okay, yeah. I was like, what the fuck is on
is
your
that?
nail?
It's a capo.
Ah.
Yeah. Yeah, so I guess yes to whatever that question was. Or no? Is that even a yes or no question?
It was does it prove definitively that time travel can exist?
I say no.
I'm going to say
it
no,
does
too.
exist.
I'm going to say no, too, because I want hope that time travel
I'm going to
exists.
say convoy. We don't have to do the noise because the noise is coming in now.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
Oh.
It did. Do you not
Did
listen
it?
to our episodes?
I do. I'm a fan. I'm a big fan of that fat guy. Okay. I think we got time for like a couple more, right?
Yeah. Also, remember, hit us up. Here's the scenario at gmail.com.
Yeah.
Here's the scenario, or scenario pod on Instagram, where all of our stuff is at here'sthescenario.com. Everywhere you want to reach us, submit questions, DM, whatever, hit us up. Join our Patreon, patreon.com/scenario pod. We do a bonus episode of this every single week. We do an additional bonus that doesn't have the structure. It's just a high show where we all hang out, shoot the shit, tell a few stories, have a few laughs, all that jazz. I do a solo podcast. Brendan and Feeney put up their sketches early every single week, and I just dropped a 17-minute crowd work stand-up video on Patreon. I got a bunch of stand-up up there. Feeney's asleep, is he? No. I saw his
You did
eyelids
look asleep.
flicker.
You're like,
Yeah, you looked like you were in full REM. But
there we go.
yeah, scenario or patreon.com/scenario pod. We have hundreds of hours of podcasts on there for as little as $5. So join, super fun. And Irish Goodbye podcast, Garbage Days, at I am Mike Cannon, at I am Mike Feeney, at Brendan Sagalow. All the business out of the way.
yeah.
Dates, MikeCannonComedy.com. Dates, MikeFeeneyComedy.com. Dates, BrendanSagalow.com.
Yeah.
Okay, here's a question that's fucking hilarious. The next question after the time travel one is, what is love? Which, as much of a hilarious question that is, I think we could all have our own answers. I think we could define our version of love.
What's your version, Brendan?
When I would say when you would, I don't know, this is so hard, man. It's like for like to do like a real answer, I guess I would say like,
Would you like my real answer?
yeah, let's get a
First?
real. Yeah, let me think.
Well, because there's the thing that everybody thinks it is, which is the early infatuation or that spike of feelings and excitement and euphoria, and they're like, this is love, holy shit, unbelievable. And that's certainly a part of it, but it's only like, the first step of phase one. Love is a resilience where that shit doesn't necessarily fade away, but it ebbs and flows. And love can also equally turn to hate since you are so invested in somebody else, and that feeling is so palpable that hate is the opposite side of love. So those fights can become big, but love is also communicating through those things and having an understanding that it's unconditional, meaning that there's nothing that you're willing to break it for. So you want to continue and perpetuate as many healthy habits as you can with that person.
Yeah, it is that like it's that continuing, like just like being. I'm trying not to say love, but it's like just
It's a slog.
yeah. I would agree. I think it's my answer's somewhere in there.
I would say that
I'm sweating trying to think of this.
I would say love is just the feeling of not being alone and having a trust in someone to be your authentic true self. And being able to do that in front of them without fear of repercussion or shame or embarrassment or ridicule.
Yeah.
Dude, have you ever thought about how much Erica knows about you and how much you trust her with the most precious things of your soul and think that maybe I should kill her?
I think about that with girls that I've dated for a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
They know everything about me.
Brendan's an open book real quick.
Yeah.
Brendan starts on chapter 6.
Honestly,
Yeah,
I feel that about the people that listen to this podcast.
Yeah. Irish goodbye especially.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They're hurtful people.
Yeah. I think that's. Did I answer? I think
No,
love is
you
when someone's
panicked.
in your life, and for a very long time, and sometimes you hate them, sometimes you love them. I think that's what love is. It's like sometimes you're like fuck, but you wouldn't want to picture them not being there,
Right.
no matter what. Is this a
All
comedy podcast?
I don't know. I think it's for the only guy who goes to constant therapy here. That was like a real emotionally guarded answer.
I have a really hard time with it. It's a hard question, you know what I mean? It's plus you guys had such good answers that I have no fucking idea.
All right. You asked the question. Again, another thing that could have been avoided had you screened the question.
I like that I asked that question.
I like it too.
Yeah, me too. I'm trying here.
Is this
I'm
a
trying.
comedy podcast?
No, it's a love podcast.
Yeah.
Lovecast.
You know what? I think we should end the show every week with that question so we see how we evolve over time.
Yeah, or like a really serious question like that.
Well, what did you see? What is that Colbert moment where he was interviewing fucking
Keanu
Reeves? And it was
What
like
happens when we die?
actually kind of like a twatty question because it was the opposite of yes and like for whatever reason in that
What
interview
happens when we
especially
die, Keanu Reeves?
he was no-butting the shit out of Keanu Reeves and like everything was a huge like a speed bump to the conversation and he like threw that at him because it would have been hilarious to be like, I don't know, man. Isn't this 11:30? Like, like whatever. But Keanu Reeves just is like, yeah, I've experienced a lifetime of trauma, so here's my perfect answer. And then Colbert was just caught in his own emotion.
I don't know. I don't think
cry
so.
His way out.
I think you're looking at it all wrong. I think they were
Yeah.
having a pretty pleasant conversation, and
Yeah,
and he just
I think he was
Great.
he was impressed and shook his hand.
I
No,
would
I
say
know
the
that. He was
only
definitely
thing-
impressed at the end, but I'm not.
You hate Colbert.
No, I hate what he's become, but I really do. But that's because I loved him so much, and if we actually are truly in love, eventually we'll ebb and flow back to understanding. Good night,
Very
everybody.
true.
Oh no!
Ah, there it is.
Here's the Scenario is Mike Feeney, Mike Cannon, and Brendan Sagalow. Executive producers Robert Kelly and Matt Kleinschmidt for the Laugh Button Podcast. For more information about the show, visit here'sthescenario.com.